Hey everyone. Today we're going to see how to play correctly in this position. This line comes from the moves e4, e5, d4, pawn takes d4, and queen takes d4. It's a game where Magnus Carlsen, playing with the black pieces, faces Ian Nepomniachtchi, and just wait till you see the brilliant plan Magnus comes up with. It's interesting to know that Nepomniachtchi has defeated many top players in this variation, including Anand, Topalov, and Liren, but here, Carlsen completely destroys him in just 19 moves. Carlsen begins with his knight to c6, clearly attacking the queen and gaining a tempo. The queen moves back to e3, and Carlsen realizes that the white queen will soon face problems along the e-file. So first, he gives a check with the bishop, a very precise move. Now, white usually wants to castle long in this line, but pushing the pawn to c3 doesn't make sense here, because it would weaken the queen side for castling later. Carlsen calmly retreats his bishop, and at the same time creates the hidden threat of moving to b4 to pressure the queen. Nepomniachtchi develops his knight to c3, and Carlsen responds with knight f6, increasing the pressure on the pawn at e4. Carlsen knows that pushing the pawn to e5 doesn't help, because he can simply counter with rook e8, and if white captures the knight, the queen will be trapped after rook to e8. So white plays bishop d2, and Carlsen castles kingside. Nepomniachtchi castles long. Now rook to e8 comes in, increasing pressure along the e-file where the white queen and pawn are lined up, and also preparing the strong move d5 to open the center. For example, if white plays f3, then after d5, the position collapses, the knight cannot capture because black would take with the other knight and attack the queen. White's position would simply fall apart. So Nepomniachtchi moves his queen to f4, getting out of the e-file. But now Carlsen strikes, bishop takes on c3. White recaptures with the bishop, and then rook takes on e4, brilliant. If white captures the knight, then Carlsen takes the queen, and after white recaptures, the other knight takes, leaving black a full, healthy pawn up with a completely winning position. So white moves the queen to g3, and now Carlsen calmly plays d5, developing his bishop and strengthening his central control. White pushes f3, and Carlsen simply brings the rook back to e8, though e6 might have been even stronger. White plays knight e2, and now Carlsen starts a powerful queenside attack with pawn to a5. The white knight jumps to f4, and Carlsen's knight goes to b4, forcing weaknesses on the queenside. If white pushes the pawn to a3, that would be a disaster, because after bishop check, the white king would be completely exposed. So white decides to capture on f6, and Carlsen recaptures with the queen. Now white plays a3, but Carlsen sacrifices his knight and plays bishop f5, an incredible move. That's the beauty of a true world champion. White takes the knight, and Carlsen calmly recaptures with the pawn, threatening a deadly rook check. There's simply no defense here. For example, if the king goes to b1, black sacrifices the rook on a1, then bishop c2, and it's checkmate. Nepomniachtchi tries to survive by capturing another pawn with his knight, but now Carlsen finishes it in style. Rook check, queen takes on b2, and the threat of checkmate on c2 ends the game. Nepomniachtchi captures on c7 with the queen, but it's too late. Carlsen delivers checkmate in 2 moves. First, rook takes on e1, and then queen e1, check and mate. I hope you enjoyed this masterpiece. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Love you all.